Okay, cool. Yeah, no, everyone, congratulations on finishing your models. They're looking pretty good. This is what they all kind of look like together.
Turn anti-aliasing on.
Like inside Discord or in Revit?
On Revit.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, if you go to the visual settings. Oh, sorry, my bad. The actual wireframe stuff, if you go to that, and you go right to the top, graphic display options, it'll be the second one. Yes, smooth lines. It's the top. Yep, there you go.
Oh wow, that is smooth. Wow.
It
Okay,
just makes it more presentation quality, I
it's
guess.
a bit nicer. How are the 30 frames a second in Discord going for you though?
I mean, it's still aliased on Discord, to be honest.
Yeah, okay. It's just less aliased. Yeah, no, you see, you can bring it all together at the end of the day, and you have a pretty complete building. I mean, there were some things that were a bit hard to do. I guess for us is, I guess having a bit of consistency across families. That's just quite hard to control with how we're running this. So that's why you get some different shading on the roofs and stuff. But it's largely cosmetic at the end of the day for how we're actually planning on using this. You guys can see it actually presents and plan really well just off the bat. Like, this is awesome. Like, this is so cool. It looks really good. And like a lot of the areas, guys, the coordination, it's been stitched together really well. So, you guys can pat yourself on the shoulder a little bit for that. That's fantastic. It's mostly seamless in most places. This one here, Lapakshi, Ada, and Joe, like, I have not been able to find a fault in any of the seaming here. You guys did a really good job. Yeah, I mean, just hang around. I guess we'll keep you in the loop of what we end up doing with it. But this is just really the start of what we want to do. We're looking at doing some applications like this. Sketchfab is like a online hosted 3D model viewing thing. You can this is a mesh, but you can do it with 3D models as well. So yeah, it'll be cool. We'll be able to tell the story of building one through mediums like this. Actually, have a format to share this with people that aren't technical and can't open a Revit file or can't view things. It's so powerful to actually be able to view this stuff in an accessible format just on the web. And even just to be able to interact with it, that's really the magic of models and 3D. Yeah. No, I guess we're here to talk about reports though, so
yeah, we
should we
will.
get into
But
it?
Tom, I want to ask you, do you want to show them maybe not so perfect parts?
Okay, yeah, there were a couple of seams
Some
where
weaknesses.
not sure what's going on here. I'm not sure if these are two separate floors that are overlapping. I am able to nitpick for little things. There are some sections of the roofs that don't strictly join. I understand that's a bit more complicated when you're dealing with linked files rather than your own files, or just the roofs in your own model. Devash, are you in the chat?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I took your updated model. Are you sure this is your most recent one? Because it hasn't got a roof.
The roof doesn't seem to show, so I'm not too sure. I'll double check and I'll send through again because I have definitely done the roof.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that because I've seen his roof.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we checked in with you and you handed in early, so yeah.
Yeah, I'll send through again.
Yeah, they like a couple things here. Like that's just a little bit sketchy. Yeah, roofs are a bit of a tricky one. But I think overall everyone did a really good job. A lot of you went above and beyond and did little extra details like in the roof and little embellishments here and there. Janelle, I really liked your arch here with the detailing. Yeah.
What do you say, guys? What do you say about now? When you see almost complete complex.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Yeah, just looks so cool.
Tom, could
Guys,
you?
yeah. Sorry. Ask,
Sorry,
Rohan.
yeah. Tom, could you turn the point cloud on? Do you have all the
Yeah,
zones?
sure.
I think it would be really cool to see it like overlaid.
We did have some rogue elements though. See how there's this little thing floating out here in the middle of space? That's
What is it?
it looks like a piece of the roof.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah, it's actually
I can't
Rocket
on my roof.
Lab's new testing facility.
By any chance, is my roof hidden? Because maybe my after save, because the file that I sent you, Tom, was the one I saved afterwards. I might be showing it to someone, and I might have hidden the roof. That just might be a case. But I'll
Okay.
send through the file again.
That's probably the best, to make sure that you send the final file. Guys, I also wanted to share with you that later, if you want, I mean, of course, we have to finish now report and to finish the course and you get your grades and, we post-moderate that and all of it, but you can still be part of the exhibition and process and everything that obviously we won't be able to do this year because of, not to mention what reasons, okay? Also, Peter reminded me that you are most welcome to use our school 3D printer to print your parts of your segments of the building one later on when we can go back to campus and things like that. And it will be a lot of work in preparation for exhibition, and of course you will know about that, and just everybody can join and help as much as you can and want. And we certainly want to prepare publication and catalog, and a lot of things will come later as a result. So don't forget to check what's happening if you don't hear from us after your report submissions that we plan for when. Can you remember, guys, what we set as a deadline for the report submission?
I can't remember exactly, but I think it was like after studio, but before our exam.
Did we say 2 weeks after model hand-in? That seems familiar all of a sudden.
Yeah, or we said like after studio and before the exam.
Yeah, I actually remember that too. Yeah, after studio. Yeah.
I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Didn't we say like early next year?
Look, guys, I have to tell you, we can read what's written in our contract because that's what we all have for sure. So let me check that. That's the final deadline is what we signed in the contract, and I'll just check that now. Research project. Sorry. No, sorry. Okay. Okay, let's open, for example, Bogi's contract. So final submission date, it's written 1st of November in the contract.
So that's actually our studio and tech
Perfect.
and
So that's yes. So you are handing in on the first. Okay, then
Yes,
look,
We
when
got two assignments.
That's a studio deadline as well.
yeah. Okay, then what you are suggesting? Are you suggesting that you can't finish report before that in 2 weeks' time, which comes to 28th of October, let's say?
Well, yeah, I was wondering, yes, ideally, personally, after studio would be great to not have 3 deadlines or not have a deadline before studio. And then I thought, maybe if we had a draft before then, and then a couple of days after studio, that was
Yeah.
just an idea.
Well, look, now, of course, as you can imagine, we will agree on what's best for you guys, So, we want you to feel, I mean, for me, the most important thing is that you learn a lot. And I think like you learned a lot. That's how I feel. You will tell us if we are right. You learned a lot about modeling and all of that, but I think you need, uh, comprehensive reflection that will be written down in that report to really clarify things, to now critically reflect on in written form on everything that happened. And it stays with you, of course, for the rest of your study years and life, at the end of the day. So, of course, we can shift a little bit if you all agree that it is absolutely necessary. But I don't want you to really start working on your report once you submit your design studio, because then we didn't do anything, If we now decide that 5th of November is final day for submission, it means that you can't start on the 2nd of November.
Well, that's why I wondered, Renata, if we hand in a draft before then, so that we're not tempted to do that.
But we can't mark. We can't. I mean, do you know what I mean? We can't mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A draft. No. Well, that doesn't. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Obviously, people have to decide for themselves, but yeah.
What is? I mean, I don't think it's a lot of work to compile that report, but it is a lot of thinking. So maybe for me, the most reasonable idea would be to do that immediately after you finished your model. Not to leave it for later, but have you started already? Have you read the brief?
Yeah, I've read the brief.
What about others?
I've read
looked
it.
at the
I was a
brief.
little bit confused.
Yeah, I read it too.
I don't understand, sorry.
They said they've read the brief.
But do you have questions related to that? Does it sound like something hard to do, or how do you feel about it?
I guess I'm just wondering what kind of angle we can take, and if it can be reflective about people that used to live there, and just the fact that it was a lunatic asylum, as well as talking about the firmitus and the experience of modeling it. I guess I'm not. Yeah.
Well, that's a very good point. So from how we frame that report text of the brief, we obviously want you to reflect on the process of the learning process that you had, which is your scanning and then processing and then modeling, and practically to almost in that part of your report maybe break that modeling experience to reflect on the way how I told you we are looking at your models. For example, point cloud interpretation, LOD 200, model setup, coordination, to kind of those 4 things to reflect on each. How you did it, what you did it, what was your learning, what were the problems that you faced, really to reflect on theory and practice of modeling from point cloud. And then second part of report is that part that is really very important for us to hear from you, is actually more about your learning about history of architecture from your experience of modeling from point cloud. This is where you practically can incorporate all those known stories, narratives existing, but also those historical facts that you know about the building and read in existing small publications of it and in conservation plan, now again compared with your model. Is there anything new that you discovered through modeling? Is there anything that you learned about the building, from your modeling experience?
Do you mean like, for example, with my one, I learned there's like a secret little room from the model, so I could write about that.
Absolutely. What digital tool helped you discover? You really discovered something that nobody knew. That's contribution to the state of the knowledge, what you experienced, and it is important to be recorded. Does this make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So and look, guys, altogether it is maximum 3,000 words. So it's not a lot of writing, but it has to be smart and well grouped, divided, developed. So we probably want to hear from you, if you promise that you're going to start working on your report tonight and work permanently, and let us know how you are making progress next week, maybe, and then if you still feel that you need 5 days after studio, we will give you. But we don't, I think it's really important for us now as a team today to agree that it would not be good that you now get that 5th of November as the final submission date, and then you stop working on this because you want to focus on studio and all other stuff, which is, I understand, necessary. But I think you will lose the momentum. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
But I think we're so hard working. we will get there.
Yeah.
We will
So
keep pushing
maybe,
through.
John, maybe that's a good plan. Maybe I can be here in a week time and you join this time tutorial, and we continue this conversation. You tell me, and if Tom wants to join, and maybe Sian, but Sian is really overly busy, so we will forgive him if he can't. But anyways, I will certainly be there, maybe Tom as well. And you tell us what you are doing, what you are writing about, where you are at, how many words you have. Maybe you will just decide that you want to submit actually rather sooner than later. But if it is not the case, then we will decide together to kind of have 5th of November as the deadline. Shall we do that?
Yep, that sounds good.
I prefer it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, I will also, put on Moodle, like I sent the new message with, those few important notes, reminders, what we expect from you to see in the report. You also have to have questions. And also don't forget, there is a literature, guys. Look at the end of our report, how we call it, document, or let me
The brief?
open.
Do you mean the brief, Renata?
Yeah, I mean the brief, sorry. Brief for report submission, When you scroll down, last part is recommended literature to support the report. And you will see some of the, for example, Malcolm, you haven't heard from him. it's about drone surveying, and I can still forcefully organize that, but I think you had enough, honestly, and you have a lot to write about already. So only if you want, as a kind of additional cherry on the cake, I can invite still Malcolm, but we won't be able to practice with his drone because we are in lockdown. So I thought, okay, we can give up from that. But for example, you see next text, Caroline Brazilius, Digital Technology and New Evidence in Architectural History. That's fantastic article. I will put that on Moodle for you so that you can read, about that. Then, for example, Historic England, 3D laser scanning, BIM for Heritage, short guides, that's all online, and you have links provided. Then, quite a few, BIM handbook and things like that. So you do have sources available to help you support your report with literature, like anything else that you write at academic level that you are at the moment. So download that all, look at that literature, and start working on your report. And then we'll have a quick chat next Thursday when you are going to tell us, what is the development, how you are making progress, and how long does it take?
I think I want to add to that, since you've mentioned the BIM handbook. I think one of the easy places to start is to talk about your model and review it in retrospect of what you've produced and how you think it adheres to the standards of LOD 200 found in the BIM handbook. So that's like a nice easy one that all of you can start doing, and I mean, just get you thinking about your model in the context of this report.
Yes, that's right. Well done, Tom. Because first focus on what you did, and what were your problems, and what you actually went through.
So, Renata, is the essay first person? So like we can
Yes,
see the eye and stuff like that.
because this is
Sales
your
meeting.
yes, this is report. This is not architectural theory essay or critical studies essay. This is really a report of something practical that you did. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good. Thank you.
And Renata, is it a maximum of 3,000 words?
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
Unless you really have something special.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, do we need to cut it down if we go past it? Because I think I'll write a bit too much, and I don't want to cut it down.
What do you say, Tom? I mean,
I'd just kind of say, like, yeah, I mean, try to keep it concise. I think you'll have
Yeah, no, for sure.
you'll have different sections.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Because there's no real there's not much precedent to go off for this, but
I guess we'll see once like the planning and stuff.
I don't know. What do you think, Renata? Like, would it be easier to say instead of just maximum 300? Is there like a range? Like, what's the optimal range?
well, we said between 2,000 and 3,000.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it is up to 4, it's still okay, I think.
Okay,
but don't submit master theses.
Yes, no,
Yeah,
of course.
please don't. I do not want to read through that.
I'll do it just for you, Sian.
I will kill you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll read any that are above 3,000. I'll take that responsibility.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, guys, look, we don't have to stay longer. I think that the main things that we wanted to share with you, we already shared. Unless you have a question related to anything, really, we can finish for the evening.
I actually had a question. I was trying to look through, maybe it's on the contract. I was looking through the assignment, but is it a 50-50 split with the model and the report?
Well, I don't remember. Tom and Sian, what was the last year. I don't think so. I don't remember actually.
It's more than just the model and the report. I think there were some other metrics along the way as well. That we'll deal with in retrospect. Actually, one thing I want to add for the report is like if you go and read some of these other heritage documentation resources that Renata is providing as well, feel free to make a commentary on how we've run this as well. If what we have implemented, what we haven't implemented, what you think would have been advantageous for this project. Of course, consider the limitations that we've worked with. I think that would be really insightful for us as well. But yeah, no, honestly, just comment on what we've done and whether you think it's been like you could outright roast it and say it hasn't been a good heritage process if you wanted to go that far. But I think that'd be really insightful.
Yeah, and I think for us is also very important to understand, your learning. What was your learning? What helped the most? What was like, how do you feel when you compare your experience as young architect before and after this process?
Yep.
Technology is a big one as well. And just recapping the process that we actually used. So think right back to the workshops and I guess previous seminars you've done with guest speakers, as well as the actual scanning days when we were on site as well. If you do have photos from that, you can include those in your report. So you're talking about an RTC, obviously really handy to have a visual reference of that. You can talk about how it works. Just if you guys have retained that, that's great. To demonstrate what you have learned, I guess, as well. So if you're looking for content, you can start with very pragmatic, easy things before you add your insights.
And I will feel free to put on Moodle a few actually journal articles publish the journal articles of different academics and their students, like describing their experience of scanning and modeling of heritage buildings, just so that you have as a, inspiration, literally, not as something to guide you, but to actually see how other people write about similar topic that they did, because it's all practical experience practically that they report on.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Again, I'd reiterate, one of the takeaways from this is obviously your guys' education and understanding, and so you can talk about this as like these are industry practices that you guys are learning, and demonstrate what you've learned, and your new understanding of these processes and technologies. Any questions?
That was
That sounds
inspirational.
good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Getting shocked.
I mean, that's all I've got off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Okay, shall we say good night then for tonight, and meet again next Thursday?
Sounds
good. Renata, could I just talk to you for a second afterwards?
Of course, yes.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Tom, I've just sent you the file again. Just
I
letting
did
you
see
know.
that come through. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank
No
you.
worries.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Thanks, guys.
If there is any more issues, I'll just send through again.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you know tonight.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, good.
Bye bye.
See you guys.
Okay, canceling my recording.